Hello, I'm Alaleh Ford. I'm a third grade teacher at Beach School, and I've been teaching at Piedmont for 18 years. I'm here in support of our teacher aides, and I'm hoping that as you're making important decisions, I thought it would be helpful for you to know how important our teachers' aides are from a teacher's perspective. So I was at the board meeting actually a few weeks ago when Steph Griffin was showing all the scores, the test scores of our district, and I saw your sense of pride when we did well, and I really felt the same way. We are an amazing district. Clearly, we can't attribute all these successes to one particular group. We are all pieces to a great puzzle, and one important piece of this puzzle that we can't overlook is our valuable teacher aides. I want to give you some examples of what our teacher aides' roles are in our schools now. And I say now because the roles have really dramatically changed in the past 18 years. Teachers and teacher aides are assessing, modifying lessons, differentiating, setting goals, planning, recording, regrouping, and much more at any given time. I've talked to many teachers, and I know that our PE, art, music, technology program, our RTI, response to intervention, these programs work because we have teacher aides to partner up with. Teachers know that having qualified aides in a classroom gives each day, week, month, and year a higher chance of success. What a teacher aide does, whether it's a classroom aide or a one-on-one aide with a single student, affects my success as a teacher and success of students. So I have just a few examples of some of the things that teacher aides have done from this year and other years, just to give you an idea of what goes on. So, for example, my teacher aide this year in my classroom, she's adjusted her work schedule so that she could be in my classroom on Thursdays and Fridays for a longer period of time to help with rotations in math. So this means that I've planned lessons in a way that she could work with a third of the classroom while I have the other 2/3. So each group is doing something that's directly designed for them. Let's see if I can turn the page. And then we rotate. So my classroom aide comes earlier so we could quickly go over some of the lessons, and we've had a lot of success with these rotations, and we could see a lot of evidence of learning in math, and I can't have rotations in my classroom without her, and this year I especially need this format. Another example is when we pull students one-on-one to review a test, we take the time to individually celebrate their successes and go over their mistakes before we move on to another unit. We don't want them just to move on to the next unit without learning from their mistakes and without seeing their progress. This same teacher aide does yard duty, lunch duty, goes to 3 other teachers in a day, all with different expectations. She stays longer after school quite often, not for long, maybe for 10, 15 minutes to talk to me about student progress. And you can see how valuable she is and how caring she is, and I have a teaching partner. So now let me tell you a little bit about just some examples of what the one-on-one aides do in our school. So in my 18 years of teaching at Beach, I've had about 13 one-on-one aides in my class. In some cases, more than one in the class at a year. Last year I had 3 aides in the classroom at any given time, one-on-one aides. And how amazing it is that these one-on-one aides are making school accessible, successful for a student, the student that they're assigned to. How amazing that they are assessing their needs, becoming familiar with their strengths, and as my 7th grade daughter put it, doing their magic. I read this to her, and moving forward with the next steps with their assigned students. But I can't emphasize enough how their success as an aide with the student that they're assigned to also affects the students in the classroom. And just a few examples of just what their day might look like. So an aide comes to school earlier to see what the schedule looks like, asks a few questions if there's something out of the usual so they can prepare their student. Having an outburst at any time of the day, as you can imagine, doesn't make for a successful learning environment. Our one-on-one aides do work with a variety of students. The students are dealing with a lot at times, and our aides have been hurt by students. It's not an easy day when that happens. At other times of the day, a one-on-one aide is listening to a lesson, determining the essential points, planning how to modify a lesson into manageable chunks, carrying out the lesson so that the students are working, that they're working with are supported just the right amount. The goal is independence. All this on the spot. An aide follows through until the work gets done. It's not easy being persistent, calm, loving, creative, and patient. Most recesses, an aide goes out to help his or her student have a successful recess, whether that's to assist or monitor socializing or to help them regroup for the next hour. I promise I won't go through all the details. We're coming to an end. One-on-one aides are pulled sometimes several times a week to help when other aides are absent. They need to get to know another student, the teacher, the expectations, and get results. I know that I'm not doing justice to what our wonderful aides do each day, and the most awful part of that day is that after being flexible, patient, caring, creative, and sometimes hurt, they're not feeling valued. And also, they can't afford to stay. We've been through years where aides come and go. Students who need the most consistency and attention are receiving the least at times. So much time, energy, and talent is wasted when we have qualified teacher aides leave us. I really hope that you take a very close look at the value of our teacher aides, our teaching partners, when you take a position and make your decisions. Thank you for listening.